Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to talk about things that are going on and explain what's going on and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Without further ado, here we go.
Hello, I'm Captain Dinelli, Commander of the Sacramento Sheriff's Office, Professional Standards Division. We're here today to provide our community information regarding a critical incident which occurred in Sacramento County and involved Sheriff's Office personnel. Today you will learn about different procedures the Sheriff's Office utilizes in order to investigate.
Okay, so you can tell that he has a uniform on under this freaking jacket that he's wearing. Why, I don't know why he's wearing this jacket during this video. Either they keep the office super cold and he's a cold-natured person and he's got to wear that jacket, or he just wants to wear the jacket because that's what he keeps all the stuff on. Like, I don't know what's going on with this. Like, this initially just looks off to me.
Cases involving use of force, specifically to obtain and preserve relevant evidence and evaluate each individual incident. Please keep in mind that the Sacramento Sheriff's Office takes the use of force by any employee very seriously. We conduct thorough investigations to ensure that the actions taken by all personnel are within the procedural standards of our office and in compliance with state law. We are still in the early stages of the investigation, and our understanding of the facts and circumstances may change as we review more evidence and interview additional witnesses. The information contained within this video is based on what we know right now. Please note that we do not draw any conclusions based solely upon this video as to whether or not our employee acted within policy or state law. Our conclusions, rather, are based on the totality of the evidence that we have gathered at the time the investigation has been completed. We hope the content of this video serves as an educational tool for our community. Our focus is to promote the development of understanding and transparency within the communities we serve.
Hello everyone. I'm Sergeant Rod Grassman, Public Information Officer for the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. On December 24, 2021 at 6 p.m., the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office Communication Center received a call from an adult male who stated he was the victim of a robbery and carjacking while leaving work on the 9800 block of Business Park Drive in the city of Rancho Cordova.
Hello, 911.
Hello?
Hi, how can I help you?
I just had someone come up to me, showed a weapon, appeared to be a weapon. He did cock it, and then he took my car.
The caller stated that an armed suspect pointed a gun at him and demanded his valuables and the keys to his vehicle. The suspect then fled the scene, leaving the victim in the parking lot. Using the victim's phone, sheriff's deputies tracked his vehicle to an apartment complex on the 5100 block of El Camino Avenue, near the intersection with Walnut. They quickly located an unoccupied Ford Explorer in the parking lot. As deputies set up a perimeter around the complex, an adult male subject matching the victim's description of the suspect casually walks in front of the deputy's patrol vehicle. Additional deputies arrived at the established perimeter. The suspect ran westbound on El Camino and attempted 3 separate carjackings at the intersection of Walnut and El Camino. A deputy arrived as the suspect attempted the first one. The suspect fired 4 rounds at the deputy as he failed the carjacking attempt. The suspect then ran to a second vehicle, but again was unsuccessful after that driver sped off.
Wow. This dude was bold.
A third attempt carjacking was successful after the suspect ordered the driver out of a Toyota Prius at gunpoint.
you have to go through that direction.
Copy, we're at 535 at altitude 340 aviation advice where you're at.
Number 23.
Copy, my apartment 23. Copy, are you okay?
So the thing that sucks about this setup right here is this dude has the ability to shoot at the police, but the police, although they can shoot back, they have a lot of people in the background. There's a lot of innocent bystanders around, and so they cannot as freely return fire as they would like to. And that sucks. Like, being on the receiving end and then not being able to do any damn thing about it. Because the consequences, if you do screw up in the return fire, is innocent people could end up getting hit. Now, the true is reverse of this. What's behind these police officers? Citizens. So this asshole who's fucking shooting at the police, he's shooting at more than just the police officers. He's also shooting at everyone else who is behind the police officers.
Where's he at? Go! Pursuit! Let's go! 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 Go!
It was at this time deputies engaged.
Go! Where's he at? Go! Pursuit!
Pursuit! just the way he says it.
Go! 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 Go!
It was at this time deputies engaged the suspect with their firearms, striking him once in the torso.
Copy.
Everybody be careful.
4040 to 10-9.
Control, there, sir. Bull's on fire.
Copy, the air is clear.
Oh, Mike, he's shooting southbound from Mount Mike.
Copy, shooting southbound.
Fifty yards, look like it's down.
Copy, looks like the suspect's down.
It's still moving, Oh.
Deputies rendered aid to the suspect until Metro Fire arrived, transported him to a local area hospital where he was treated until being booked into the main jail 5 days later. The suspect in this incident is Kevin Slaughter, 44, of North Highlands. He is well known to local area and state law enforcement. Slaughter was booked on...
He is well known. So that tells me this little fucking shithead has lots and lots of run-ins with law enforcement and has probably had a slew of different convictions. And with those convictions and all that shit, this dude has probably seen a lot of probation, a lot of parole. And if you looked at all his prior convictions and his most recent one, I can guarantee you, out of his most recent conviction, had he been sentenced to the full maximum extent, this motherfucker would not have been on the street doing what he was doing. He would have been locked up in a little cell somewhere, smelling nasty farts all damn day. Not out on the streets victimizing people and fucking shooting at the police. Guarantee it. I don't even know what this dude's background is. But this is like the same story over and over again all across the fucking nation. Shitbags who are well known to law enforcement still out in the streets walking around. Why? Why the fuck do we entertain this bullshit? Why do we not just lock these motherfuckers away and throw away the key?
Is well known to local area and state law enforcement. Slaughter was booked on numerous felony charges, including 3 counts of attempted
Stolen Glock 22. Okay. So this is a rant that I go on from time to time. How did he steal this gun? Or how did he come into possession of this stolen gun? A lot of guns are stolen out of cars. A person, a lawful gun owner, will leave their gun in their car because they're not able to take their gun into work or take their gun into the mall or someplace like that. So they leave their gun behind because they are following the law by not taking their gun in somewhere, or they're following the rules by not taking their gun in somewhere because they don't want to get in trouble. And then when they leave their gun behind like that, it makes it easier for it to be stolen, because where are they leaving their gun at in the car? A lot of guns are stolen out of the middle console of a car, and pretty much all middle consoles do not lock at all. There is no fucking locking mechanism on them. But the vast, overwhelming majority of them. Now, there may be some manufacturers that have a locking middle console, but the majority do not. That's where a lot of guns end up being stolen from. They end up getting stolen out of the glove box, and the glove box is not even locked. It's just left unlocked. Or they're stolen from under the car seat, where people think they'll hide it out of sight and they'll put it in the car seat, under the car seat. This is the part where I think that common sense gun law could come into play. Safe storage laws. Criminalize or penalize people who carelessly leave their gun behind in their car. If you're just sticking your damn gun under the car seat and walking away, you're fucking wrong. If you're leaving it in the middle console that doesn't even lock and you walk away, you're wrong. Even and a lot of these, and there's a lot of cars that when these guns are stolen out of, the fucking car door itself is not even locked. And of course, you know, there are some people who'll say, well, you shouldn't be criminalizing the victim. You shouldn't be getting them in trouble. It's negligent to do that. It is leaving your gun under the car seat and walking away from it is just the same as having a household with a little fucking 2-year-old in it, and you leave prescription narcotics sitting on the fucking coffee table out in the open. Knowing damn well that kid don't know what the fuck that shit is and will think it's candy. It is negligent to leave your gun under the fucking car seat. It is negligent to leave your gun in the middle console that doesn't even lock. It is negligent to leave your gun in the glove box and not fucking lock it. Yes, you are a victim when someone steals something from you, but you are a fucking idiot for leaving your gun like that, making it easy to be stolen. So yes, you should be fucking penalized for putting other people at risk like that. If there was a law that talked about safe storage for firearms left in vehicles and said that you have to put a gun in a locked compartment or safe, then these people who already are following the rules and already following the laws for no gun zones and leaving their fucking guns in the car, they're going to follow that because that's what those people do. They follow the rules. Now, as I said, people are leaving their guns in the cars because of stupid-ass gun-free zones. That, in my opinion, needs to be abolished. We should not have any gun-free zones. The way that they're worded, they don't make any sense. Your local mall. Why should your local mall be able to forbid you from carrying a life-saving device? Does your local mall prevent you from carrying your own first aid kit? Does your local mall prevent you from carrying your own oxygen bottle? No. Then why the fuck should they be able to prevent you from carrying your own gun? If a place is going to be gun-free, then it needs to be truly gun-free, like an airport. Like the boarding area of an airport. In order to get into the boarding area of an airport, you've got to go through some checkpoints. Checkpoints that involve x-ray machines and people who pat you down. Unless a mall can do that to every single fucking person that comes in there, then they should not be allowed to strip you of your ability to defend yourself. Same with like the post office. Unless the fucking postmaster is going to put guards at all the entrances to the post office, then the post office should not be a gun-free zone. So abolishing some of these gun-free laws and these gun-free zones, enacting laws that make it unlawful for businesses that cater to the public, make it unlawful for them to make some kind of rule to prevent people from coming in there unarmed. Penalize them. You take those stupid fucking things away, you'd have a lot less people leaving their guns behind in their cars, which in turn means you would have a lot less guns being stolen out of the cars. But that also would not prevent guns from being stolen out of the home. So that goes back to my thought that the really only true sensible gun law that I think that could make a difference in guns ending up in the hands of criminals is a safe storage law. So aside from saying that if you're going to leave your gun in your car, it needs to be in a locked compartment or a safe, the same should be for your home. If you're going to leave your home for work or wherever, I mean, no matter where you go, if you leave your home, there's no other person in your home, and you leave, the guns that remain in that house need to be locked up. You don't need to be having your fucking AR-15 sitting behind your bedroom door, fully ready to go. Why the fuck are you doing that? Someone busts down your back door while you're at Walmart. What's to stop them from taking that gun? Nothing. We know the fucking AR-15 ain't gonna jump up and start shooting the bad guys that walks in. We know that's not happening. Bad guys gonna come through there, rummage through shit, and find your AR-15 sitting behind the bedroom door. Oh, shit, dog. Look at this chopper. Yeah, bruh. Leaving your handgun in your nightstand or on your nightstand. You're arming criminals when you carelessly leave your guns laying around and you're nowhere near them. So a safe storage law, in my opinion, would have wording in there that says that if that gun is not on you or within arm's reach of you, it needs to be secured. It needs to be made inaccessible and or inoperable to unauthorized users. So even if you can't go out and afford a nice gun safe to put your AR-15 in, you could still use that cable lock that it came with and run the cable lock through the magazine well and out the open bolt. Make it inoperable. That way if a bad guy does steal it, well, he's going to have to put some effort into making that gun operable. He just can't steal it and put it into use. Like, he's going to have to do some extra shit to get this damn gun to work. Yeah, the cable locks are not the greatest things. They can be defeated. Any lock can be defeated. Any lock can be defeated. But it slows people down. Adds extra time for it. So whoever owned this gun and had it stolen, that person put a lot of people at risk. I don't know the circumstances of how this gun was stolen, but I can guarantee you this motherfucking gun wasn't stolen off the motherfucker that owned it. He was not wearing this gun and had it stolen off of him. It's really fucking hard to steal a gun from a person when they're wearing it. Really hard. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. It happens. People have their guns taken from them. There have been plenty of officers over the years who've died in the line of duty from their own gun. But that's different than normal citizens who carry concealed. You're not out engaging with people and fighting people and trying to wrestle them into handcuffs. So you can't take that and say, well, yeah, you can have your gun taken from you. Blah, blah, blah. It's a whole different context. If the person who owned this gun had it on them and had it concealed, this gun would not have been stolen. Would not have been stolen. Now, that's assuming if this gun was legitimately stolen. So another thing that can go into how these criminals get these guns is, people who can legally go out and buy guns. They'll go out and buy guns, and then they will, give them to the people who cannot legally go buy them. And so they may do a straight up just straw purchase where they go out, they buy the gun from a gun dealer, and then they turn around and sell it to old dude for the same price, just for a cash transaction, and call it that. Or the person will go out, buy the gun, still take the transaction from the other person, but to cover their ass, they'll be like, oh yeah, my gun was stolen, bro. Yeah, somebody took that shit. That way they don't get in trouble when the serials get ran. But hey, you bought this gun a month ago, and now this dude has it. What's up with that? It gives them an out. Oh yeah, it's stolen, bro. You've got to keep your guns locked up if they're not on you or within arm's reach of you.
Murder. 2 counts of
Let's back
carjacking
this up so we can hear what his
to
charges
local
were.
area and state law enforcement. Slaughter was booked on numerous felony charges, including 3 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of carjacking, 1 count of attempted carjacking, and 1 count of assault with a firearm. I'm very pleased to tell you no deputies or civilians sustained any injuries as a result of this incident. The investigation into this incident is being conducted by the Sheriff's Homicide Bureau and Professional Standards Division, which is standard practice for any officer-involved shooting that occurs in the Sheriff's Office jurisdiction. Independent review of the officer-involved shooting will be conducted by the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office and the Inspector General.
So, not much there as far as image goes.
Sus- but again was unsuccessful after that.
So again, as I said, how are you going to return fire right here? People right here in this car, and then directly right behind them there's other people. It's going to be very difficult to return fire in this instance from this angle. It's going to be extremely difficult to do that. You could return fire, but you are having a significant increase in the risk of other people being injured just from the layout here. So they're in a shitty situation. They're getting shot at and they can't do anything about it. Now, these people who are in their cars, of course, they come to a stop here and they're at a red light. And this dude's attempting to get up. Well, we can tell that there's a vehicle in front of them. And this guy's shooting. When you think about vehicle tactics, you want to leave space in between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you. That way, if you need to, you can just cut your wheel to the left or the right, hit the accelerator, and get the hell out of there. Did this person have enough space to be able to do that? I don't know. It's extremely difficult to tell from this angle. But I mean, based on this vehicle and the image of it, and you can see the other brake light, what looks like being right there, it's possible that that vehicle was just way too close to the vehicle in front of it to be able to cut the wheel to the left and take off, especially when you consider the lines right here, and then this vehicle, that's front tire looks like it's kind of close to that line. His back tire's here. We got this as kind of a reference point right there. So I don't know. I mean, it's impossible to really know for sure the distance, but I don't think, based off what I can see, there was enough space in between those vehicles. So that person had no ability to cut the wheel and hit the accelerator. They would have had to have throw the car in reverse, back up, throw the car in drive, and then go left or right. They obviously did not do that. I would suspect that the people inside this car are freaking the fuck out, probably frozen at this point. They are in the freeze portion of fight, flight, or freeze. They might be ducking down, maybe, or they might just be sitting in their chair with their hands up to their face, just screaming and in shock that there's a person outside their door shooting a gun, and there's flashy lights and sirens behind them. Like they may be freaking the hell out and unable to act in any way. These other people, even though there was flashy lights and gunfire going on, and there was a red light right before this turned green, at that point the red light is just a mere suggestion that you remain stopped. That's it. It's just a suggestion. There's nothing physically preventing you from getting the hell out of there. Now, you have to be aware of other vehicles coming through the intersection if you're wanting to, hit the accelerator and get the hell out of there. I mean, it'd be kind of stupid to very blindly just hit the accelerator and go forward and then get fucking T-boned by an 18-wheeler. But just because the traffic light hasn't turned green yet, that doesn't mean you can't take off. You very well can take off. Hundreds of people run red lights every damn day in this country. And not by accident, on purpose. Why can't you? So if you can hit the accelerator and get the hell out of there, do it. Keep space in between you and the other vehicle. Maintain that situational awareness. Don't have your face stuck down to your phone at the red light, because that takes away your ability to look around you and see what's going on. Especially if you're in such a high crime area where carjackings are normal. If you live in a town where carjackings are very high, then you are especially stupid if that's what you do. You just sit there and play on your phone at the red light and not pay attention to what the fuck's going on around you. Keep your head out of your phone. Keep your head on swivel. Look around. Pay attention to what's going on. And have that gap in between your vehicle and the other vehicle. That way, if you need to, you cut that wheel and you stomp that accelerator and you get the hell out of there. Aside from that, if you are blocked in and you are unable to move forward or backwards, then that's when you start shooting through your fucking window. But in order to shoot through your window, you gotta have a gun. And it has to be accessible to you in that moment. So keeping your gun in the glove box doesn't work. Keeping your gun in the middle console does not work. Keeping it tucked up under your seat does not work. You got to have it on you. So if this person in this vehicle was so far forward that they couldn't cut that wheel or do anything, and even if you can't cut the wheel and do anything, you can still hit that vehicle that's in front of you. Fucking push them off the X. Get them the hell out of the way. Drive through them. But if you're unable to move, and this person in this car had a gun, they could have very easily just pointed up through the driver's side window and started blasting this guy as he was shooting at the police. And the situation would have ended right fucking there. Same with people in this vehicle coming up to the damn driver window. Now, they had a more open area. They could just stomp it and take off. Let's say they were blocked and couldn't do it. Same thing. Through the windshield. Shoot him.
Go party!
So the person in the red car, which, I mean, the light turned green anyway, and they were going to be going off, but they had the right mind. They're not stopping for this asshole. They're going to keep on going. Now, that person completely froze in the moment. There was no need for them to stop where they were. This person, yeah, they recognized what was going on. They said, fuck this shit. They drove around and took off. They were not going to become a victim. So they did the right thing. They took off. This person, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I would suspect they probably, when it boils down to fight, flight, or freeze, they probably just froze in shock and fear. They just did not know what to do. First time something probably violent like this was going on for them, and they just completely froze up, didn't know what to do. But that gave him the opportunity to do some stuff. Now just imagine if they had taken off. Well, this dude would have been up creek without a paddle, and this incident most likely would have ended right here. He probably would have took off on foot. They would have chased him on foot. There would have been less people within the immediate surrounding of him, and they could have fucking ventilated him right then and there and be done with it, and not even have to worry about this dude surviving and then being charged later. Like, the fucking coroner could come pick his ass up, and that would be the best ending to be called for right there, is for the coroner to come get this guy. And so, what's also interesting is the people that when he pulls them out,
Copy, we're at 535.
they initially just stand there until you hear the gunfire, and then they take off running. So he pulls them out at gunpoint, and then they're just standing there. So this is, again, I think the fight, flight, freeze. Freeze is kicking in, and they're dumbfounded. They're full of fear, and they don't know what to do. But as soon as the gunfire pops off, well, flight takes over. Now they're fucking beating feet and doing the Nike drill and getting the hell out of there.
348, sorry, where you're at? Number 23. Got it, yeah, I'm okay. Got it.
So why they did not include the rest of the dash cam footage, I don't know. Back this up. Back it out. And it could be that from here to there, like the dash cam footage just didn't pick anything up. I don't know. And the body cam footage, same thing. Like, I don't know why they just haven't included that. It could be that just the angles and everything just didn't pick up enough that was worth a damn. And this security camera footage was the best image to be able to show to illustrate exactly what was going on. I don't think that they're, purposely hiding anything to cover anything up or anything. I mean, this is pretty damn self-explanatory about what's going on. Dude's totally in the wrong, but I just kind of wish that they would provide that other footage just so that we could watch it and see what's going on. As far as what he was hit with, I don't know. He could have been hit with pistol round, or he could have been hit with rifle round. It's really anyone's guess at this point with the information they've given. This would be obviously an argument for why you should have rifle out. There is a pretty large gap here, pretty large distance between him and the vehicles. And rifles are more accurate. Rifles are better for shooting longer distances. Pistols suck when it comes to fighting. Yeah, they still work. They work in an emergency aspect, in emergency capacity. But if you know you're going to a gunfight, bring a rifle. So, rifles in patrol cars, if they're not in the cab of the vehicle, then they're a lot harder to get immediate access to. So I do think that they should be kept in the cab of the vehicle. That way you can get it and dismount quickly with it versus having to go to the rear of the vehicle and get it out of the trunk or the cargo hold of the vehicle. But they should definitely be put into play when you know there's gunfire, gun stuff going on. And they were all initially, if you remember, going to set up this perimeter and go catch this guy because they pinged the cell phone from the first victim's cell phone, I guess, that was left in the car. As they're going to set up this perimeter, going to this call involving a guy with a gun, they should all have their rifles out and ready. And what I mean by that is if the rifle is kept in the trunk or the cargo hold of the vehicle before ever going on that scene or getting near that scene, you should stop, get out, get that rifle, charge it up, and either put the sling around your neck and wear it like a 1-point configuration when you get back in that car. That way when you get out, you've got it. Or B, stuff it in between you and the console. That way when you start to get out of the car, you just grab it and go with it. If it's in the cab of the vehicle, same thing. Take it out of its magnetic locking mechanism, charge it up, and either A, sling it around the neck like a necklace, 1-point configuration, or stuff it between you and the console. That way when you get out, you can very quickly dismount with it, and it's right there, ready to rock and roll. Because you want that rifle in a gunfight. Rifles win gunfights. Rifles dominate gunfights. They outperform pistols. Rifles are better than pistols every day of the week. I don't care what kind of argument you try to throw at me. You're wrong. Rifles are better for more accurate shooting, and they are better for their terminal ballistics. The kinetic energy they dump into a target and what they do as far as terminal ballistics go is way more devastating than a pistol round. There are lots and lots of people still walking around today who've been shot with pistols and they survived. There's not that many people walking around today who've been shot with rifles. Yeah, some people still live after being shot with a rifle, but when you compare them to people who've been shot with pistols, there's a lot fucking less people walking around who've been shot with rifles than there are pistols. Rifles win gunfights. If you know you're going to a gunfight, bring a rifle and bring your friends with rifles. We don't really get to see the approach and how they take them down or anything like that. And again, I think that is footage that they could have shown, but for whatever reason, they chose not to at that point. Obviously, we would have had good, clear body cam footage of them getting up and cuffing this asshole. But for whatever reason, they neglected to throw that in there. Again, like I said earlier, this guy would not be surprised if his most recent conviction would have meant that if he had been sentenced to the full amount possible, he would not even been out on the streets for this to even happen. He would have been locked up somewhere smelling farts all day in Concrete City. So this is a failing point within the U.S. Criminal justice system. The criminals are coddled and pandered too often. They get way too many fucking chances, way too many little slaps on the wrist, and the people who pay for it are you and I, the good, law-abiding citizens who do everything the way we should. We follow all the rules. You know, even if we don't follow all the rules to a T, you know, we might speed a little bit. You know, we might drink a little too much, whatever. We're not out there doing shit like this guy's doing. We're not hurting other people on purpose. We're not fucking robbing people, holding people up. We're not doing any of this shit. People like this are doing all that. They are out victimizing people. But yet, we just keep letting them out. Give them little slaps on the wrist. It's like our society, our criminal justice system tries so hard to help these fucking people. Victimize us. That's really what it is. It's like they're trying to help them hurt us even more. It's asinine. It really is. I mean, there's a huge disconnect between criminal justice. There really is. Like I don't know. I'm starting to see, judges and prosecutors and parole boards as being almost one and the same as the fucking criminals. Like just fucked up people. I mean, why is someone like this walking out and around in the streets? Should not have been happening, but it goes on. So we have to make a change. We have to get a hold of our legislators and demand that justice reform occur in the sense that we get hard on crime. We need to start doing away with all these bullshit fucking feel-good initiatives. Everything that is going on now needs to be tweaked. It needs to be tweaked and tweaked hard so that we get hard on crime. Violent offenders, people who go out of their way to purposely victimize other people with violence, should not have any fucking ability to have their charges amended down, should not have any ability to do pretrial diversions, should not go on probation, should not get parole, should not get mandatory reentry. A fucking bullshit act that is a circumvision of the whole fucking process that a person needs to go through to get parole. They should get the maximum sentence, not a day less. Not a day less. And if they fuck off in prison, then their stay needs to be extended. We should truly lock these people away until they decay. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me the like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.